is maybe style advice, whether that's hair, beard, or attire style.
Which will be sort of the focus today,
Yeah.
or at least in some respect.
In some capacity.
More so than we have in the past.
We've talked about it in the past, but we'll go a little bit more in depth with Otto, who is our guest. But yeah, so what we're looking for is if you want to ever have that advice or get that counsel or get information tailored uniquely to you, this is the place to do that. And guys, you can send in your photo or photos over to style@beardbrand.com.
Email them over.
Make sure to let us know a couple of things.
Yeah,
Don't just send your photos, preferably with your clothes on.
We have to clarify. It's been done in the past. Like literally, guys will send us.
Send us a couple of things. We want to know a little bit about you. So one, tell us your age, and the reason for that is because that plays a significant role in the journey of growing your hair.
Oh, yeah.
And your beard especially. So let us know your current age. Let us know how long you've been growing for in that particular photo, because that'll let us know how long you've been on the journey up to date.
Absolutely.
And then let us know what your goal is. Is that one, I'm growing a year.
Yep.
Or I'm having trouble maintaining a certain style. Or hell, I'm looking to change up my style. What would you recommend for my attire style, for my beard, for my hair?
Yeah, man. Anything's fair game.
Send those things over to style@beardbrand.com. And like Jack just mentioned, this is the Alliance Show. We'll do our best to get back in touch with you so that you can be notified when you're going to be featured on the show here. And that way you can tune in or catch it on the podcast by way of Spotify, iTunes, or SoundCloud.
Yes, sir. So if we want to get right into it with our first one, I believe we have 3 today. What's going to happen is we're going to pull up the picture, and then Randa will read the message that the guy sent in. One of us will describe what this guy looks like, and then the other will kick off the style consultation. All right? So who do we have on deck first, Randa?
Alrighty. So here we have Stefan or Stefan.
Stefan or Stefan, either way.
He says,
handsome guy.
Hello guys, I want to send a few photos of me as I don't know where I should go with my beard style.
Okay.
First, I'm Stefan. Second, I'm 22.
All right.
I've tried several styles over the years, but at the moment I don't feel like I just want to let it grow.
Sure.
I'm looking for something to maintain once a month. So the photos I added are from the last 4 months. So there's kind of like a series here.
All right.
I gone from full beard to experimenting, starting with the most recent one with the least hair on top, which is the one that y'all see right now.
Okay, so the one we're looking at right now is the most recent or the farthest from right now?
Yeah, so he says...
It's the oldest one.
He is also attempting a handlebar mustache.
Okay.
Let's see here. So we have another photo here.
Wow.
He says black shirt with a red tie is
that a black shirt? I thought that was a brown shirt.
probably where he feels best.
Okay.
And then white shirt was the start of the month, not after not shaving for a month.
Okay.
And then finally, we have all the variety. This little collage.
It's a totally different guy.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I said when I first looked at this. I was like, are you sure this is the same person?
This little collage is where he had to shave it, but he tried to make it funny.
Yeah.
I believe this was for his graduation.
Okay.
So he also asked, how do you eat with a big mustache or without eating the mustache itself? So I'm going to go back to that original photo that we got here.
Can we actually look at the second one, if that's okay,
Yeah,
Rand?
absolutely.
I think this one shows off his style a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do is I'll go ahead and describe our friend Stefan or Stefan, whichever one he prefers, and if you two will then take the lead and describe
sounds good.
what you guys would change or what you guys would offer in terms of advice. So I'm going to go through this list of some certain things that you guys should know about our friend here. The shape of his face, I'd say, is it's got a little bit of a squarish shape to it. Any distinguishing features, he does have glasses on. They have transition lenses. Round shape, kind of a keyhole frame. Hair length is close cropped on the side with a little bit on top. I'd say maybe 1.5 to 2 inches. Okay, texture of that hair, small bit of a wave in there, not significant though. Kind of like me. Okay, if you want to take it as a similarity. Color of that hair is brunette, and then let's talk about the facial hair. Facial hair, he's wearing a corporate style beard. It's pretty neatly trimmed with a lower cheek line at sort of a sloped cheek line rather than a sharp one. Mustache is thinner than the rest of his beard, which is at its thickest at his jawline, and we do have a little bit of a square shape on the very end of the heel of the beard. In terms of the cheeks, he's keeping it pretty clean, but it does look like there is at least a day growth on those cheeks where it grows up a little bit higher than the rest of his beard. Okay. Other than that, Sylvester, would you like to take the reins on this with Otto?
So, Randa, do me a favor. Can you tell me again, what was his goal? Did he state a goal?
He wants something that can be maintained at once a month, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to just keep on growing.
Yeah, he doesn't want it for length, just something easily maintainable.
Which is actually cool because that's not something we typically get asked.
Yeah, man. So my recommendation is, one, you're going to want to schedule pretty frequent trips to the barber. I would at least start out with 2 weeks, and then if you need to bump the frequency back a little bit, you can go down to once a month, or once every 3 weeks might even be ideal.
Yeah.
Because you'll want to have those touch-ups pretty frequently to maintain that shape. Especially if this is a shape that you're going for, which I think is a really cool look. I like the corporate styled looking beard, maybe a little bit fuller than the corporate style beard if you're going to go for a full beard. And you don't want to go for the full yeared and have a lot of length on that beard, but then you don't want to rock just long stubble. That corporate beard, that longer corporate beard, fuller corporate beard, if you will, is a really cool style. But you do need to make sure that you make a frequent trip to the barber. This guy doesn't have any patches in his beard.
None that I can see. No.
So man, it's going to come in nice and full, and it's at some point so what your hair wants to do is it wants after it grows out of your face and starts to grow down. Once you start to get some length on that beard, it starts to make that initial curl. Which is, if you were to let it grow very long, it would grow into the shape of an S. We call it the S curl, right?
Yeah.
So
I haven't heard that in a while.
But if you as soon as you start to develop that curl in your beard, you want to have you definitely, that's a sure tell sign that it's time to visit the barber.
That's when it's time to go get it trimmed a little bit.
Yeah. So just frequent. I would schedule at least once every 3 weeks at the barber probably at minimum, but yeah, every 2 weeks for sure. Make sure you're on their books to kind of, unless you're doing it yourself. But then again, at that point,
I don't know if you're going to be doing it that frequently.
Yeah, you got to take that into your own consideration, and also be willing to take the consequences that come with that. That's not necessarily that's not unachievable. It's very achievable, but that does require skill. So if you haven't practiced with that, schedule your appointments with your barber. But man, I love the hairstyle. I like the beard style. It's a really good look for him, especially the glasses.
Yeah, absolutely. Really cool. I was going to talk about that. So if we can go beyond the beard for a moment, before we can involve our guest. Let's talk about this style for a moment. So this is, Rand, is on your screen, is that a black shirt? Because it looks downright brown on ours.
Yeah, I believe it's black. I think it's just the photo.
It's just the photo. Okay, maybe he has a filter on there or something like that. So that is kind of a classic style there, the black shirt with the red tie, but it almost kind of reminds me of a guy going to his prom. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's missing something. Do you notice
what do you think?
Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So, quick question. Did he mention what his occupation is or what he does?
I think he just graduated college.
Yeah, as no occupation, but he did just go through a graduation recently. College, high school, looks more like college to me.
So he's 22 years old, so there's kind of that transition period.
Which makes sense with the, red necktie, black shirt, going out or took a trip.
I was going to say, that's not really...
stand out to attract more females, so on and so forth. But I personally actually like the other photo where he was wearing the white shirt.
Can we see that one with the white shirt and
1 month out that he had just grown his beard?
This one?
This one. So,
yeah.
I like this because he just graduated. He's going to be doing interviews. You're not sure what job or industry. I guess industry, you may know what industry you'll get into, but I feel this is more versatile. So if you end up in like a really techie position or you end up in a really conservative job, it just you seamlessly go through. And also, if 1 month out, this is what you get, then it's easier to maintain, which is his goal anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the hairstyle, the glasses.
I was going to say, what do you think about those glasses? I like those. They kind of have a Persoal look to them.
Yeah. So the whole look here really plays well. Simple white shirt. We can't see the vest too well, but definitely plays well. I think this across the board regardless of going out at night, going to the job, doing something funky.
Yeah,
quite simple.
It works.
Yeah,
I
and
like
easy
that.
to take care of because all you have to do is just 1 month or 3 weeks out, like Sylvester recommended. He'll have a well good amount.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that helps you, my friend, and I hope you're watching. If not, you can always tune in afterwards and get the style consultation in its full glory. But with that being said, do we have any other thoughts? Or
Yeah, no, I had one more thought. Yeah, on the black shirt. So
sure.
my suggestion is,
can we go back to that black shirt?
If you do like the black shirt, Stefan, it's cool to wear a black shirt. I probably would lose a tie if I'm doing a black shirt. Or if you're absolutely in need of doing a tie, the best thing, because black shirts are actually, I think, are going to be making a pretty strong, they're going to be a strong statement for this coming spring, especially for formal attire and stuff.
Okay.
So if you are going to do a black shirt, my recommendation then is to do a black tie on top of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just black shirt, black tie. That's really the safest bet. And honestly, probably the only color tie that should go with the black shirt is black. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's my only takeaway. So.
Okay, so with all that being said, my friend, style consultation number 1 done.
Gong.
All right. Gong if we had it.
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
not here today.
Who's this? We only have one photo of this guy, right?
Yes.
Okay, but we can kind of get the full situation. We can see glasses, we can see shirt, we can see jacket, hair, and beard. Okay, who is this?
All right, this is Calvin.
Calvin, how you
Says
doing?
hi and Merry Christmas. That just goes to show how
That goes to show how long ago we get some of these.
Hey,
wow.
man.
Told you we go back and grab some old ones. All right.
Yeah, exactly. We have a long wait list, so if we don't get to yours right away, we promise we will eventually.
We try and do at least 3 a week, guys.
All right, so my name is Calvin Maynard.
Okay.
I'm 22. It's a
Another
22 type of
another
show.
22-year-old.
And I'm looking for some advice.
Okay.
I'm still pretty young, so I grow a real patchy beard, but I try to keep this line sharp and everything nice and healthy with Beardbrand Utility Balm.
My man.
Also one of my favorite products. Here's a pic of me recently after a fresh haircut. About
Sure.
3 to 4 weeks of growth on the beard.
Okay.
I've done about 6 weeks without trimming before, and the cheeks and chin just don't come in. The dream would be a full corporate beard like Chris Evans, but that's probably a few years away.
A lot of people want his beard.
All right, so he says, what do y'all think? What are some styles or tricks I can try to up my look? Love your products, your videos, and the Beardbrand community. Keep up the awesome work, y'all. Keep on growing.
Hey.
Calvin.
Thanks, Calvin. Sylvester, would you like to take the reins and describe Calvin based on our little criteria?
Yeah.
Guys, we have this criteria now so that you can really get a good mental image of what these guys look like if you're listening.
Yeah, and so excuse me with the piece of paper here. Hopefully we won't have that next week or next couple weeks. But Calvin, right?
Yes.
Is that his name? Calvin. So Calvin's face shape, man, it's hard to tell based in this photo.
Yeah, we're looking at it from the profile.
But if I were to guess, I would say it's either going to be a round or it's going to be an oval face shape.
Maybe more oval.
And as Calvin mentioned, this is what we would classify not necessarily as a patchy beard, but maybe it just doesn't come in as full just yet, and that could be attributed to his current age.
Yeah, 22.
22, right? And then he does have on what appears to be a solid square, maybe framed glass. It's got some orange.
It's definitely got a square shape to it.
I don't know if it's tortoise, if there's a tortoise in there at all, but it is a dark, thick black frame, which is looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad photo.
And then his hair. Let me move up to his head hair. His head hair is relatively long on top. Man, I don't know what kind of style is this, Jack.
It's almost like a middle part feathered.
Yeah.
A feathered middle part. Almost picture like a Han Solo, kind of young Harrison Ford.
Yeah, exactly. So no, there's not a fade on this, but it does look like he's keeping everything pretty clean around the neck.
Well, this is right in the barbershop.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You must have just got his haircut. But yeah, it looks really nice and clean. I like this hairstyle on him. I think this is a really fitting hairstyle for his style here.
We may split hairs on that.
And then the facial hair, just going back here, he is keeping everything pretty neat and clean on the neck, especially right at the neckline. But I like this because the barber doesn't cut down into his beard, even though it doesn't fill in all the way through his cheek line. He leaves it to grow. The barber leaves it to fill in on its own, which I definitely think is pretty cool and key, especially for guys who are rocking a patchy beard. And he's got it relatively short, so it's maybe about a 3 weeks of growth.
Yeah, he said this is 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So cool. That's it. I think that's sums it up.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and begin the style consultation, then we'll kick things off. All right, so Calvin, correct? I don't know why I keep reading names.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, name. Calvin. So, my man, this is what started the hair, okay? This is where you and I may not agree. I don't particularly like this hairstyle on you. I know this is right out of the barbershop, and I know it works, and it is a good hairstyle.
I signed
but
Sylvester.
You do? Okay. That's okay. We're allowed to disagree on this show.
Okay.
What I want to see, man, is I want to see you get a little bit of balm in your hair, or maybe like a matte clay or something like that. And I want to see the hair pushed backwards. I want to see it pushed a little bit farther back. I like a little bit more of a conservative look with this. I don't know. I think it's just the middle part always strikes a chord with me where I don't think it's the best hairstyle for a lot of guys. I mean, some people can rock it. Part of the issue that we're dealing with here with Calvin is we don't get a front view of him. I'm only going off of this profile picture.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe from the front it looks fantastic, but I can tell you from my own opinion, the middle part in the side, or at least the side part that's leaning more towards the middle for him, really isn't gelling with me. So I would try pushing it more back. You can still do this exact same thing with the hairstyle that you have right now, just push it further back. And when you're working your hair with a blow dryer, make sure that you're either getting a vent brush or a round brush and getting it towards the back. Just try it out. If you don't like it, you can always go back to this hairstyle that you already have. Now, let's take a look at the beard. All right, so realistically, at 22 years old with the growth pattern that you have right now, man, the Chris Evans corporate beard style isn't really in the cards right now. Now, in 5 years from now, that may not be true. Keep in mind, Chris Evans is towards his later 30s, okay? You've got plenty of time to get to that. In the meantime, though, I would continue to keep your beard relatively short and relatively trimmed. Don't let it get crazy, because in this growth pattern that we see right here, it can get out of hand really quickly, especially with the heavy growth in the jaw area. You don't want to get into that neck beard situation, all right? Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can always go with the heavier sideburn, clean up the cheeks completely with the razor and the neck underneath and the jaw. Leave the chin growth and leave the mustache. Sort of a take on the Van Dyke with the larger sideburns.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. Would you like to?
Yeah, I got a couple thoughts.
Let's fight about this hairstyle.
Yeah, I know. Right? No, one thing for sure, I do like the hairstyle. I think this longer, medium to longer hairstyle is going to be really popular. Like textured hair is going to be real popular throughout the summer. So like
I think the dapper is kind of going away.
The fade
right
and
now.
The dappers just kind of, it's not a bad look, it's just a different look.
Yeah.
And this look looks really cool in my opinion. Again, I think some of our sea salt spray is going to be
that would do them really well with the hairstyle up top.
And then when you need a little bit more hold, you can take a little bit of that styling balm and just kind of play with it, clap it in your hands and then work it into your hair.
Yeah.
But for the beard, I tend to agree with Jack. If you got a patchy beard, you want to keep things relatively short.
Yeah, you don't want to really emphasize those patches right now.
So if you want to change it up, man, you could, go down to a complete short stubble and keep the mustache relatively thick and full. It looks like it grows in pretty nice for you. So that's an option, as Jack said, a variation on the Van Dyke. I personally, sometimes I like the line in it like you have here, but maybe next time also, if you want to switch it up, have your barber kind of blend it in so it's not a hard line.
Which line are you talking
real
about?
Soft,
on the heel?
Great point.
Yeah, the one that goes right along the neck.
Where it almost emphasizes that, like, here is the beard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you kind of go for more of like a long scruff situation, and it's not so defined.
Yeah, and I think that'll kind of de-emphasize the patchiness, or
exactly.
like the really low cheek line.
Exactly. But the style, man, I don't know, Alto, if you got any suggestions, but
I kind of wanted to talk about this kind of like Americana take on.
You pretty much nailed it, because that was going to be my main recommendation. Obviously, you guys are the beard expert.
Or at least we pretend to be.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
From where I stand, I love the hairstyle, same deal. Looks very clean, looks well done. His beard's still patchy, not too much. I think that's a great place. And the line, that's the same thing I was looking at. It's too sharp. So I kind of looked over to both of you, especially like yours. It just kind of blends in.
Yeah, you let yours go a little bit farther, Sylvester.
Yeah. Keep it pretty blended. Sometimes I'll opt for a line, but...
Yeah, and because he doesn't have so much, that works well. Regardless of which route he goes, whether he goes, dress shirt, necktie, in a suit, or t-shirt, denim jacket as he's got on, it kind of plays well because the hair's already well intact.
Yeah.
So it's all right to be slightly, it's like you consciously make it a bit scruffy by letting the beard not look so clean.
That's a great
cleanly
point.
Trimmed off.
Yeah.
Now we've also got glasses in this picture, and I'm almost wondering, do these frames work with the hairstyle, the beard style, and the outfit that he's got on. My first gut reaction is it works. These type of frames work better when you're dressed up. Mm-hmm. These are more of a dressy frame. I'm not quite sure what I would pair in terms of frames with that kind of denim look.
So I think it works on this photo because it's a black frame and he's got a black shirt on. Mm-hmm. Now, because his hair is a little on the lighter side, I mean, medium to light side, really more kind of medium dark. I would probably go with like a brown tortoise frame on a daily basis.
Like a darker.
Yeah, kind of like you've got on right now.
Okay.
But because he's got the black shirt, I think it fits.
Yeah, it works with it. And he's got the two stripes on the side, which I think might be tortoise, but I think are rather orange.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, overall. Calvin, if you're watching, hope this offers some great advice to you. Do you have anything else would you like to say?
I just wish we had a gong.
Yeah, I know. Well, it is in the room somewhere, but as I say, we're in construction mode.
It's all right.
Anyway, Calvin, thank you so much for submitting your photo. Sorry it took us since Christmas to get to you, but again, guys, we are working our way through a very long queue. And that being said, style consultation number 2.
In the books, man.
In the books. All right. Third and final.
Alrighty, so we have a little before and after. This is obviously before.
This is before.
Okay. This is Belal. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name.
Belal.
He's 27 years old, approximately been growing for about 1.5 months.
Okay.
He states, my goal is a band Holtz, and I will actually change to his current style.
Oh, like, I was like, band Holtz. I'm like, oh yeah, Eric. Okay, so this is current.
Current style, correct. So his goal is a band Holtz.
More of a Costa.
Says, but I am confused if it will look good on my face because I feel like my beard is a bit curly. Will it grow to be straight or will I have to do it regularly? Also, am I supposed to shave those smaller hairs that are directly growing above my beard and below my upper cheeks?
Okay.
I would be really glad if I can be provided a style consultation. Ta-da! Here we are.
There we are.
And I'm also attaching the previous photo as before and after, so you can see his face shape as well.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So let's go ahead and go back to that first one so we can describe face shape. I'll describe our friend. So he has got, this one's got me stumped because of the frames in the black and white photo. So we've got a before and after. First photo I'm looking at is the before, no beard at all. But the face shape, what would you say? Is that
I think it's kind of like a heart shape, man.
I think, I was going to say it's like kind of the rare heart shape that we don't see too often.
A little bit of a box shape, too.
Mm-hmm. With just a touch of a box. Mm-hmm. And we lose a little bit of that when we get into the beard, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So in terms of the distinguishing features, he's got some rather large, rounded and square, kind of a best of both worlds frames, pretty big, kind of old school 60s frames going on. In terms of the hair, let's go back to the new photo real quick, Randa, to see his hair right now. Okay, closer crop on the side with quite a bit of frizz on top, very thick and very curly. I believe he's of Indian descent. Thick black hair with just a spattering of maybe a little bit of brown, but it might be just the lighting in the photo. Hair length on top is probably 3 inches, okay? On the side, maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
In terms of facial hair, think Carlos Costa a little bit when he was rocking his beard towards the end, okay? Yeah. He says he's going for the band Holtz, but it looks a lot more like Carlos Costa, all right? So this is really thick, really dark, jet black hair with maybe just 1 or 2 white hairs in there, okay? I see one right there on the side. I don't know if it goes any further. Not a patch to be seen on this beard, man. It dips down just slightly as it approaches the circle beard area, but grows right up to his bottom lip. So he's got less patches than Eric does, realistically, which is funny. Grows a little bit higher. You can see it gets thin on the cheek line, but the cheek line is being taken care of pretty well. If he wasn't shaving that before, it doesn't even look like he needs to take care of it that much. In terms of the mustache, no gap in the middle, goes completely across the lip. And in terms of style, he has upgraded his glasses from this larger 60s style frame to a more conservative Ray-Ban style. That's a little bit of variation of a rectangle. And then he's wearing a polo shirt that is navy blue, I think. Might be black. All right. Kick it off.
Is it Nepal?
No, let's hear the name one more time.
Belal.
Belal. Nepal. That's a country.
Well, Belal, listen, man. when I saw your first photo, I immediately thought, okay, this probably is a patchy beard. Mm-hmm. And then the second photo pops up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
screw this. But dude, man, honestly, this is super transformative.
It really is.
I mean, it's amazing how you can pull off the no bearded, clean shaved look, and then you pop a beard on,
and it really adds like a whole different dimension.
Right on.
Just pop it right on, and it just changes his look completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so I want to make sure I answer his question. Is one, if you're going for the Bandholz, dude, man, you're close. You're relatively close.
It might be. That's definitely thicker than Eric's beard.
Well, yeah, but Eric has got so we talked about the S curl. Eric's got some cool waves in his beard right now.
Yeah, he actually does have a really curly beard.
If that is your goal, I would recommend growing out that beard for 30 days without touching it from here.
Yeah.
From this point on, don't touch it for 30 days. And then you can reevaluate and see how much length you've gotten on your beard, because it looks like your beard grows pretty damn fast, man.
Yeah. I wish I knew the period of time between that first photo and this one.
And so I would give it 30 days. So go 30 days without touching it, and then reassess from that 30 days and say, all right, I'm going to go for another 30 days. That would put you at a 60-day total of growth from this point. And you'll probably end up, I'm assuming you're going to get that S curl that we were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll want to grow that at least until it goes into because it's going to grow out and it's going to get that weird.
It'll kind of slope to one direction. It'll pick a direction,
And then once it gets to a certain length, it'll start to curve back the other way around. So once you've gotten to that full curve, that full S curve, that one single solitary S in your beard, you just cut right there, or have your barber trim where that S stops, and
you go from there.
Pretty much accomplish the Bandholz right there, I think.
I was going to offer one more thing if you're going for the true Bandholz, though, because one thing that Eric does do is anytime he gives a trim, he doesn't touch the mustache at all.
Yeah.
So he lets it kind of take over and be disproportionate on purpose.
Yeah.
So if you were going to get a trim, don't touch that mustache.
Yeah, that's a good point. Eric does rock a pretty big, full mustache. And if you've gone back and watched any videos, you'll see he's a big fan of the big mustache. So am I.
I think most people are.
So yeah, man, grow that mustache out. That's why I say 30 days first, and then reassess and go for 60 from this point. And then take a picture of Eric to your barber and be like, "Hey, dude, I need
this. Give me this. Yeah,
give me this guy." The other question he had is something about trimming.
Yeah, trimming the cheek hair. So he's basically talking about, see how I get these ones up here? He's asking if you should be trimming that.
Yeah.
And really, I'd say that's a personal preference. It doesn't look like he needs to.
I don't think you need to, but if you're pulling off the Bandholz, man, like Eric keeps his line natural and pretty straight.
He doesn't trim it too often.
So
though.
I would exactly what you're doing here. That line that you've already got going on, I can see you've got a little bit of hairs growing up, but yeah, just maintain that natural line. Just keep it clean. Whether that's once a week on your own, or that's every 2 weeks from your barber, or every 3 weeks from your barber. But again, the goal is to go 60 days without touching that beard. So during the in-between, during those 60 days, 30 days, you can keep that relatively clean. I would recommend something else, though, that I noticed right when I saw this second photo.
Sure.
And that's that his hair looks a little dry.
It does.
So
it does.
What I would recommend, Beardbrand just launched our brand new shampoo and conditioner, and the conditioner
that'll help him out.
The conditioner has got a little bit of it's got a shea ingredient worked in there, and I feel like that's going to really nurture your hair. It's going to give it that healthy look.
It'll give it a bit more life.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever you're using in your hair now, man, like. It might be drying. That might be drying it out and leading to this. I don't know if maybe it's blow drying. You're just using too much heat, but
he may actually be washing it too often.
Yeah, and you may be washing it every single day,
which might not be necessary for you.
Yeah,
or it could just be the wrong products.
Yeah, so I would recommend definitely checking out our shampoo and conditioner.
Give it a shot.
And give it a shot, and just be mindful of the products that you're using in your head hair.
Yeah, you don't want to just focus on the beard, because I think a lot of times guys will be like, okay, now my beard is perfect, but what's going on upstairs?
And honestly, you probably could even pull off, like when I first saw the photo too, I automatically thought of the Elvis S curl that he had way back in the day, like the old cool, like dude, you could probably rock that out.
All right, yeah, I could get down with that.
What do you think of his glasses, Otto?
Yeah, can we actually go back to the before one? I want to talk about those glasses real quick, because these are ones you don't see too often. Kind of a almost like a. What was that movie that Colin Firth did? Oh, Kingsman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of those old school 60s British frames. And
a bit large. I think smaller size definitely.
I think he went with a better option with the more conservative Ray-Ban style. I mean, that's a pretty classic look right there in terms of what he's wearing. That's just a classic, looks like a dark button-down shirt.
Well, we talk about the black shirt. This is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just very simple. Don't need to add the red tie. No tie.
Roll sleeves up, totally fine.
Yeah.
From the other photo, the only thing I think, style-wise, we don't really see style, but shirt here is great. Is I feel, at least from my perspective, that the beard and the hair, they're competing. So it's like, since the beard's the focus, reduce the style of the hair, take it down a bit, push it one way.
Make sure it's not too big.
And then let the focus be on the beard.
Okay.
That's great advice, man.
Good deal. So with that being said, I think that will bring us to the 30-minute mark of the show. And with our third and final style consultation out of the way, Belal, I hope that you are watching. If you're not, be sure to check it out afterwards. Thank you so much for submitting your photo. With that being said, style consultation 3, complete.
In the books.
All right. If we had a gong, we'd ring it.
We'd break it.
Yeah, we'd throw something at it. So with that being said, let's get into our main topic of today. So we call this episode, fashion, style, and all things bespoke. And we call it that because, I mean, it's not every day we get someone who owns such a cool shop down in downtown Austin. And you may recognize that name, League of Rebels, because last year when we had our celebration by Beardbrand, CXVB, they hosted us at League of Rebels for part 1 of the celebration. That was their VIP experience. Sylvester, do you want to talk about that a little bit? I mean, you sort of,
really cool.
The two of you kind of made it happen.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit as we get into this?
Last year we were able to collab with League of Rebels, which maybe we can learn a little bit more about League of Rebels, and then I'll mention the stuff. Why don't you,
for our viewers that are watching right now, kind of explain what League of Rebels is?
Yeah, sure. Talk to us about League.
I mean, for us, it's quite simply Austin menswear brand. We focus on tailoring, so we do ready-to-wear, made-to-measure, bespoke suitings, dress shirts, and so on. Got to connect with Beardbrand guys. It was really cool. And believe it or not, till now, we still get calls every now and then about people asking if we have a barber on site.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they say, I saw the Beardbrand video, and I'm just wondering if it's my hash there or is Beardbrand kind of like, no, it's just
no. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We don't mind. Like,
at least people are knowing, and they're like, well, maybe I'll take a suit.
That's awesome, man.
But menswear, just focus on simple, clean style tailoring. On the made-to-measure bespoke side, it's great that guys could, you could spell out your individual style. What you like, what you don't like. It works, everything same like you guys do, from the hairstyle, how it matches with the type of clothing, the type of texture, and so on and so forth.
And that's what I really like about the style of the shop is you really take it. It's not just a one-step process. It's sort of it's multi-layered when you do it. I mean, I was watching even last time when guys who were at the CXBB doing that style consultation with you guys, you'd pick out the pattern, you'd pick out maybe what the type of suit they'd wear from an American to a European cut. It was really fascinating watching that whole process take place. And I've never had the chance to actually get a suit tailored for myself. So maybe this year, now that I've got a little bit more pocket change, I may make that happen. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Your 50th year anniversary.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I'll celebrate now that it's the 5th year anniversary. We'll be downtown tonight, so who knows? Maybe we'll swing by that area.
Awesome.
Cool. But we did have that thing happen last year down at League of Rebels. Did you want to talk about what that was? I mean, maybe kind of promote what's going on this year.
Yeah. So if you didn't catch the information, and this is your first time tuning in, first of all, welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, it's good to have you with us, and good to be in your ears if you're dropping in on the podcast.
In your ears and your eyes.
But last week, Eric and I sat down here in this room and we chatted all about what's coming up in March.
Yeah.
And so if you didn't get a chance to see that, go back to last week's video or last week's podcast, and you'll get a ton more information, more than we'll cover here today, because we did cover quite a bit last week.
Yeah, there was a lot of information.
But basically, we're hosting a party coming up here in March. And it's, we'll party in the evening. So Wednesday evening, March 21st, we'll have a party here in downtown Austin.
Yes, sir.
But we have an all-access pass that gets
now this is where it gets interesting. Yeah.
Onto the campus of Beardbrand, and we've got a bunch of things going on. Check out the link in the description. We'll be sure to link you to the information and where you can get the full detail of that.
Oh yeah.
Of what that all-access pass gets you. But two big parts of that. One, Mahesh and Jake, the barber, who is actually Greg Brzezinski's barber.
Not the guy who cut his beard off, but the guy who gives him those fantastic haircuts.
The guy who takes care of the head hair.
Yeah.
And I think every
he
now
does
and then
trim up his beard
he
every
does
once
take
in a
care
while.
of his beard too. But Jake is actually coming into town to cut hair alongside Mahesh. So
yes, sir.
Be sure to grab a ticket because if you've ever wanted to get a haircut from Beardbrand or a beard trim from Beardbrand, this is your opportunity to do it.
And you have the opportunity to be in a video for this.
That's one big feature of it. The other big feature of it is that you're going to be able to sit down with myself and with Otto from League of Rebels, and we're going to give you a personalized style consultation, one-on-one, tailored specifically to you.
Full bespoke.
And we'll be talking about everything from your socks to your beard to your hair.
To what kind of shirt,
Yeah, and you know, the cool thing that I really love about League of Rebels is that it's not just suits.
No.
League of Rebels also has casual wear that you launched, I think, right when we were filming last week.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that.
Casual, and then we also added a line called Rebel BLK.
Okay.
So more like edgy stuff.
A little bit more streetwear, a little bit,
streetwear type vibe.
Very cool.
So, whatever style plays well, there's always a full look that could be made.
Yeah, and so you'll want to be sure to grab your tickets because the early bird ticket is actually getting ready to close.
Yeah, that window's closing,
in
man.
the first week of February. And then the other thing that I want to make sure that we mention in this broadcast too is that you'll be able to secure a general admission ticket after we conclude our early bird ticket. There's a few more seats left, so grab an early bird ticket if you can because the price goes up after, I believe, February 7th, around there. But you'll also be able to secure a general admission ticket. So, hey, if you are a barber or if you are looking to get into the style game,
or you just want to meet us,
or you just want to hang out with Jack and his sailor hat.
Yeah.
No,
that's the night after.
If you want to hang out with Jack, with myself, with Eric, with Carlos, Greg is going to be here. Mahesh is going to be here.
Jake
Dude,
the
it's
barber.
going to be
It's going to be a good
loaded.
time, man.
We've already got a lot of seats filled. But we've got a few more. So you'll want to grab a chair. If you are a barber or you're looking to get into the style game again, or if you just want to hang out, be sure to grab a general admission ticket. Those will be limited as well. And that's going to get you on the campus. It's going to get you a bunch of other things, but it'll at least get you in the door to connect with myself, to connect with Otto, to connect with Eric and Carlos and Mahesh and Greg and all of the Beardbrand team and family. Be sure to check that out. We're offering a full style consultation, so we'll be sitting down with you one-on-one before you go into your beard trim.
That'll be the ticket. That's the ticketed event.
Yeah,
that's not the general admission.
Yeah, that's not the general admission. It's all spelled out for you.
Don't get that twisted.
Yeah, it's all spelled out for you on the link. So we'll be sure to link that here for you to check out. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So it's going to be fun. But I kind of want to give people a little dabbling or a little taste of what's to come. And also sort of satiate my own curiosity about style and fashion, bespoke, because I know I mentioned it earlier, I'm dressed up right now for my 5th anniversary, but this is about as nice as it gets for me. And this is just a random assortment of different types of clothes. I don't really have outfits, and I don't really have a full general idea of style like the two of you. So I did prepare a few questions today. Excuse my little piece of paper. But I wanted to sort of start off, in our neck of the woods with beards, and I wanted to get at least your own opinion on when it comes to a beard. I've always wondered this. Does it need to be dressed down for a man's style? Does a beard need to almost hinder a man's style if he has one? Say you're going for a full natural. Does that then mean, okay, you're going to have to take a more naturalistic approach to the way that you dress? Can you get away with wearing a suit, or will it look just weird when you have that beard? Because I've noticed, at least in Hollywood, I've noticed when guys will grow out their big beards, your Jared Leto's or your Jake Gyllenhaal's or whatever, sometimes it will look a little bit out of place, even when they do dress up with the beard. It can look almost tacky in a way. So I wanted to get your opinion on what can a beard add to a man's style, or does it need to be dressed down when it's on a man's face, you know, in terms of his fashion?
No, definitely plays so, because the cool thing which we also promote is you know, feeling comfortable in yourself.
Yeah.
Not trying to dress for certain occasions at certain times,
right?
But stylish style.
Yeah.
If I think of Sylvester, for example, I always picture the black beards. I'll picture him wearing some black or a hat, black shoes, black denim. Like, that's his style.
So kind of pick a color that goes around with your style.
Not even so much so to color, but just the attitude of how you dress. So when I think of beards now, I'd say not to stand it up a certain way when you're going to work, and then when you're going to a black tie event, you try to change it up, but just be you.
So don't change it. Find a style that works with you.
Find a style that works with you. Find a general theme of style that you like to dress. Like, I feel really comfortable in dress pants. I rarely wear denim. Maybe I wear denim maybe twice a year, 4 times a year at max, maybe. So regardless of what I wear, it's the same pattern. I call my style, for example, school uniform style.
Oh, okay.
Dress, yes.
No. That is cool. Yeah, I
And
actually have
that's
heard of that.
It's really simple. I don't have to think twice. So I'd say the way Sylvester dresses up now, I don't think he has to wake up every morning, you know, spending 20 minutes trying to figure out.
So it almost becomes a second nature.
Second nature. Go for one direct style regardless of the beard. I think if your style plays in role already, if your beard is trimmed, if your bed's more relaxed, it wouldn't make a big difference.
Right.
And it's really cool also, like the guy we talked about earlier, the hair's all well dressed up, but let the beard be scruffy.
Let it go a little bit more wild.
That shows your attitude, your character.
You don't want to present a fake version of yourself, right?
Why?
That's great.
That makes sense. That's interesting. I always wondered about that. Sylvester, did you have any questions real quick before? I didn't want to bogart all the questions.
No, I did. I had a couple of questions too.
Sure.
That I wanted to make sure we got in. Let's see. Which one do I want to choose? I got a couple good ones for you.
Yeah, I know. I was like going down my list. I'm like, I wonder which one I'll ask first.
Drum roll.
Yeah. First question: should we go hard or should we just go easy?
All right.
No. Let's go hard. I actually am curious.
All right. So I'm curious.
I do have a hard one. Yeah, we asked the hard hitting questions with our first guest.
I'm curious, Otto. Are there any style or fashion rules that you're not afraid to break, such as? Well, I'll just leave it there, and then I'll ask some of the such as ones.
Okay, so I've got pet peeves that I do not like, or I feel maybe in certain occasions it's okay. Yeah. When I see guys wear a bow tie around their neck, it really upsets me. Like,
really?
Why? Just take it off. But I think if you've come through a long night of, you know, you've been on some bender for hours, you've been at a party.
You mean untied?
Yeah,
I thought
untied.
you meant just a bow tie in general. I was like, what's wrong with bow ties?
Having it untied.
the I don't care anymore.
Yeah, dude, you just put it across, and it's like the whole night. If you've been at a party, you've had a lot of alcohol, everyone's like really smashed already.
Sure.
At the end of the night, it makes sense. And I think it's also conscious that you've been
It's more context in that situation,
as opposed to just put it in. So I think more etiquette rules, but it's okay to break them when it's clear. Okay,
that's what you're going for.
Yeah, it's at the end of the party or something like that.
Yeah. Any other pet peeves?
I'm sure there's lots. I mean, do you have any?
I'll see if it comes to my mind.
Yeah,
I have a beard pet peeve in terms of fashion.
I got a beard pet peeve for sure.
I like to know that.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. What's your beard?
You know mine. I talk about this one to death. I hate this trend that has happened, and I talk about this in so many videos. And it wasn't until I found Beardbrand that I found out that this wasn't something that you had to do. Is that guys will shave all the way up to the jawline, all the way right up to the jawline, and you see that one so often with athletes and with people in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Where they shave it right up to it, and it looks like as if they put their beard into the dryer and turned it on too hot, and their beard shrunk on their face. And I call that the face beard. I mean, there's a golfer named Dustin Johnson. This is my rant. We need a new podcast where I just complain about things. There's a golfer who could have done so much for the bearded men in terms of athletes, in terms of wearing a nice beard. Dustin Johnson wears this beard, and he's a jackass.
Not to call him out.
He wears it really, really tight. I mean, almost above his jawline. Like it's about right there on the jawline, and it's so tight to the point where it almost looks like he spray painted it on.
Yeah, it looks like it's taped on.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's taped on. Now, there's a time and a place where some people can pull this off. There's a lot of great people that wear beards that can be tight, but there's a certain style that I don't think, like I think you were saying, you pick something that feels more like you, a little bit more natural. In the case of Dustin Johnson, or in the case of these guys that shave their beards too tightly, I think it presents something a little bit too fake. It looks really artificial, and I don't think that it complements a guy's style when it works with his natural chemistry. I think that's presenting something that isn't him, right? So that's my pet peeve, and I could talk that to death.
All right.
I've toned it down for this one. I've got some choice words for this.
No, I think I would probably agree with that grooming pet peeve, but I do have a style one.
Sure.
And the style one for me is wearing the wrong fabric in the wrong season of the year.
Yeah.
So, if you're wearing like a very heavy wool jacket in the summertime.
Well, then you're just insane.
Right. It's crazy. But it's equally the same, because we don't see it this way, but it's equally the same in the reverse when you're wearing like a seersucker. Or something really lightweight.
Like a linen in wintertime.
And it's cold outside. And I've seen guys rock it with confidence, and it's like the dead of winter. And you've got a linen jacket on, and it's
I
like...
have to put this one on.
So that's a pet peeve. But like, as far as going back to breaking rules, or like wearing white pants, for example, in the... the cooler months, like there's an old-fashioned guideline that says you don't wear white pants.
Yeah, I think after Memorial Day.
After
Labor
Memorial
Day. No white after Labor Day,
After Labor Day, but then you don't really wear them again until after Memorial Day. So May 30th through September 1st is really when you're supposed to wear white pants. And I don't believe that's necessarily true.
I don't think that's true at all.
I think, in fact, if you've noticed anything and you follow fashion at all, like white pants have kind of been the thing this winter.
Yeah,
so
it works.
Exactly.
Like, if you style it up nicely, it works totally fine. The first one, I think that makes a lot more sense, because there's different times where I have this really heavy wool sweater I really, really love. I've had it for about 6 years. Sure. I've never had a chance to wear it.
Oh, because of where we live.
Yeah. I've been wanting to, and I've been tempted.
I've been there. I've definitely been there.
I pulled it out one time, and I really wanted to wear it, but it just it begs the question: are you okay?
Yeah.
Like,
is something wrong?
Is something wrong?
Are you really that cold?
But I still have it.
Yeah.
And I'm still keeping it until I find the right condition, right place.
And I'm sure there will be a day when it appears.
Hopefully.
When hell known as Texas freezes over.
Well,
but white pants, why not? Plus Texas, conditions year round almost.
So I had two questions really quick. This is actually for my own benefit, something that I've been curious about. And that comes down to pants in terms of length for men, because I've noticed length's been changing as we go around. We had the classic baggy style of the 90s, and then things got a little bit tighter, and then we sort of saw pant length, at least, go up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is that correct, right? I know we don't really like to put labels on right or wrong, whether it's in fashion or out of fashion, but what are your thoughts on how long a man's pants actually should be?
I think it still comes down to a certain degree to individual preference.
Sure.
But the great place, or an easy place to be,
right?
Leicester is just what we call a half break. So it sits right over your shoe. There's just a little dimple.
Small dimple.
Yeah, small dimple. If you go what do you call flat shoes, or you go dress shoes, it'll look nice. The full break has really pulled back because it looks a bit. It looks more smart where you just have little dimple. Yeah. The no break, it's a bit aggressive.
It's a little bit too high.
Yeah. Younger guys may do it, but we'll have guys who come in the store maybe in their 40s, 50s, and like no, I don't want high water, as they call it.
Yeah. Waiting for a flood.
Yeah.
That's what my dad would call it.
A half break that would play round anywhere, and maybe guys a bit older would just really request for a full break.
Go more towards the full break, but no more
not
than
common.
No more than full break.
Yeah. I mean, it just if it's too long, if it looks too long,
you're dragging on the floor at that point.
Yeah. I think my contribution to that question, Jack, is really style. Like, if you want to change up your style within those parameters, either going for single break in the leg, or it's just it's cut right, like perfectly for you. You can opt for one or the other depending on the outfit, depending on the fabric, depending on maybe the event that you're going to. And it's good to have both in your closet. Like, so for example, I actually had a completely different outfit set for today. I got on my pants this morning and realized I didn't tailor these pants yet. And so there was like, it was like a full break and a half. And I was like, so there goes that. I got off the plane last night. I was traveling in Nashville, and I got off the plane, and I just quickly, threw out some clothes and ironed it, and then went to bed, and then woke up this morning and was like, what was I thinking?
So that is a big thing for you, because a lot of guys don't actually think too much about tailoring. I'm one of those people that I've probably been to a tailor once, and I think I was about 6 years old, and I wasn't even the person that was handling the tailoring.
Well, and that might be a good question, Otto, because you specialize.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I have a tailor on site, so it's. I think mine's already borderline, because any little thing, I start thinking, okay, I'll go try this pants on. I have the tailor look at it, but I don't want to spend half my day in front of the tailor.
Right.
So it's just get it down. Have my ideal style pant, how it should fit, the break, the length. Tailor already knows, and a lot of guys actually do know now for dress pants what the cuff, the width of the cuff should be, whether it's 7.5 or 7 inches.
Right.
And now I don't have to try much on because I've already been to the tailor a lot of times.
Yeah,
more so than the average guy.
That makes sense, but
it's on the job, so
absolutely, that makes sense. Because that's something I was wondering. I mean, for people like me and for people who are watching, I'm sure there's a lot of them out there. It's like, what is that extra step that makes the tailor all worth it, you would say, for almost like a an elevator pitch?
So that's a question I was going to ask you, is how do you elevate your game?
Yeah.
How do you elevate your
why
style?
Tailor?
And I would think it's bespoke.
Yeah. Bespoke, even for ready to wear, you'd be surprised. So if we do, say, personal tailoring, for example, where you take a ready to wear item,
Sure.
We make it yours when you get in front of the tailor. So being able to stay, I say, just give it one try, whether it's off the rack, whether it's made to measure or full bespoke.
Yeah.
Put it on, stand in front of the tailor, just let them do their job.
Okay.
When they get done and you wear that piece, you'll know.
Yeah.
Like you'll know. You'll
It's
feel,
part of you now.
You'll feel the difference. It becomes yours. Sleeve length correct. The taper is right. Trouser length, trouser taper, and what you'll start doing, and we warn some customers every now and then, is you'll find yourself going back to your closet to find every other piece to take it back to the tailor to replicate.
So it becomes kind of a habit now.
Yeah, and then it just.
I don't think that's a bad thing though, but yeah, that actually makes all of your clothing your own at that point.
Yeah, makes it your own.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are approaching our time limit for today. Wow, that flew by, didn't it, today?
Yeah.
So I've got one last question before we get out of here, and then we'll tag the winners. Don't worry, we do know that you guys are still there. See, this is what happens when we have a guest. We get into these topics a little bit more, but this is one I absolutely want to know, and everyone here, you probably know what I'm going to ask, is everyone here at the office always gives me crap about this. Is there a time and a place that shorts can ever be fashionable? Can you ever get away with it, or are shorts always going to be that thing that you just wear because it's hot outside?
Shorts, but chubbies.
Shorts. 5-inch inseams.
No, you made a good point.
Yes.
Time and place.
Sure.
That's good.
Are you at home?
No, I'm
Are
at
you
the
at
office.
pool?
I'm at the office.
If you're not at home, if there's no water, you could jump inside.
There's no
place.
place for shorts.
No place.
That is not what I wanted to hear.
And all of a sudden, Jack's dreams came crashing down.
Sylvester, I'm going to ask you.
I'm going to pick them up off the floor for you.
If you guys put what's that? The blow up.
Kiddie pool.
Yeah, then
So what you're saying is I have to carry around an inflatable pool with me everywhere I go so that it's okay.
get a pump. Get a
So then it begs the question: what do you do in a situation where it's too hot? I mean, do you immediately reach for something like linen pants?
Linen pants are easy. When people hear wool, they also think, oh, it's
that's exactly
weather.
That's what I think is it's going to be too hot.
Not at all. So, for example, we only use pure Australian merino wools.
Okay.
So, believe it or not, it's one biodegradable, and most importantly, especially for our weather, it regulates body temperature.
Oh, okay.
So, when the weather is cold, it gives you more warmth.
Okay.
But it does the exact opposite when it's hot. So, in summers, you feel cooler.
Interesting.
So, it's actually more. It's way more comfortable to wear
versus like a cotton
wool slacks than for me to wear denim. Like denim is way hot.
Really?
I wouldn't even touch denim in summer. But I think once you're used to it, especially if you wear denim a lot, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But wool slacks, Australian merino wool, feels extremely cool.
Wow.
Linen, seersucker, those work well. We do some wool linen blends. Like the functionality for linen plays very well, but I don't like the wrinkle personally.
Yeah.
So I opt for wool linen blends. It looks like linen, but it doesn't without the wrinkle. That's what I say.
Doesn't perform like linen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, you heard it here. I'm gonna have to pick myself up some wool pants, so you never have to see my legs again on camera. So with all that being said,
oh, did you?
oh, you should have seen it. During last summer when the air conditioning wasn't working so well. I didn't even care. I looked sweaty and gross. It's wonderful. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
So much fun.
It's going to be fun in March.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. Guys, go down to that link down in the description. Go check out Alliance. Go check out Alliance Conference. Go check out CXBB. It's going to be a hell of a time, guys. It's going to be incredible. Randa, can we go ahead and tag the winners in the chat real quick before we get out of here? And will you just quickly say with their names?
Absolutely. We got our man Thomas, Julian Faubert, and Zombie Pikachu.
Zombie Pikachu. And okay, guys, congratulations. Thank you so much for submitting those. I will make sure that you guys get your $50 gift cards after the show. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. This has been fun. We ought to have more guests on here.
Yeah, I think we will, right?
Maybe next week we'll have Scott Barnes on. We can talk about my mustache. And just by the end, it'll be like Jerry Springer. You'll be like holding us apart and we'll be fighting.
Yeah.
Anyway, Otto, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really looking forward to CXBB and Alliance Conference. Guys, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And until we see you again,
keep pressing forward.
Keep on growing. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Randa, for keeping the show going. Awesome.
Hey.
Wonderful to see you all. That was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. This little setup's fun.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Had a good time.